The relationship that we have with our lands, we call this your pilina. There's really no words that can explain our lifestyle. It's more where you have to feel the winds, to feel the rain, to be out on Aina, to be out on the land. I think that's what sets a lot of us apart.
Seeing the early sunrises and just being out there on the land, working with your coworkers, being out in the elements, I think that's what I always loved doing.
Generationally, there's less and less people that want to do the work. It's a hard job, it's a dirty job. Early mornings, it's late evenings. Challenging to find the people that will put on their boots and go do the work.
Parker Ranch was founded back in 1847 by John Palmer Parker. His family were merchants and they had a shipping company. He starts out on the East Coast, he's starting to learn the trade, and he decides that he doesn't want to continue doing that, and so he stays in Hawaii. He makes friends with the local people, finds his way up here to the mountains where he can start helping to get rid of some of the wild cattle that are harassing the people. He ends up marrying the king's granddaughter. He starts out with a small tract of land. So it all started right in this area right here.
The culture of the ranch, of the Paniolo heritage, it's embedded in the people. The culture of Hawaii is preserved in these rural pockets that haven't been urbanized or significantly influenced by outside entities and people. And we have that here. Without those people, we wouldn't have the same identity.
A lot of the employees are really connected to the ranch. It's much more than just a job for them. They grew up on the ranch through friends and uncles. There's a lot riding on the shoulders of those that work here because they know it's important to a lot of people, even those that are no longer here.
So our Hawaiian language, or our Olelo Hawaii, Olelo Kanaka, and Paniolo is the description of our cowboy heritage. It derived from not necessarily the ethnicity Hawaiian, because Paniolo can be Japanese cowboy, Portuguese cowboy, Filipino cowboys. It was different ethnicities and their traditions that created this lifestyle.
Hawaii was canoes and fishermen, and also what they based this Hawaiian saddle off of is the canoe. You take out these 4 straps and everything comes apart. Each strand is called an ave. It can represent the structure of an octopus. It'll stretch and it'll come back to its original form in the weather. It gives you a sense of connection to the culture here in Hawaii.
The scenery is just what Waimea is always known for. It's lush green rolling hills. Parker Ranch, this is pretty much the heart center of Waimea town.
The ranch built Waimea. Everything through Waimea was Parker Ranch, and to be called a Parker Ranch employee, a Parker Ranch cowboy, it's an honor, it's a privilege. Bring up my family, my kids the same way that I was brought up. And not much people can say that they can do that nowadays.
Mr. Smart was the last heir to Parker Ranch. Before it went into a trust, I grew up knowing Mr. Smart, a man who had a vision. He's a man who took care of his community. His people and his land always came first.
He gifted the ranch back to the community of Waimea. The trust is set up so that there's 4 beneficiaries, 2 private schools, a hospital, and a community foundation, all right here in the town of Waimea.
We manage the lands for the Parker Ranch Foundation Trust. We do that through our cattle operation. It is the foundation of what Parker Ranch is. So the trust owns the land. We try to create value on the land. The profits from Parker Ranch Inc. flow into the Parker Ranch Foundation Trust through a few different avenues, and then that is distributed to our 4 beneficiaries.
Parker Ranch has always been in the forefront of giving, of producing. Everyone who lives in this community that will benefit from Parker Ranch and the way we steward our lands and the way that we not only nurture and grow what we raise to produce beef, but we also need to nurture and grow our community so that Waimea will continue to live, and those who still reside and those new that may be coming to Waimea will continue to understand the importance of what the Parker Ranch legacy is, and that is land and man. Aina and Kanaka. The care and nurturing of those two things will forever allow us to be sustainable.
You're going to go from a rainforest in the back of an incredibly lush valley down to sea level where you get less than 5 inches of rain a year. And that's going to happen in a 10-minute drive. So one cowboy is taking care of that. They need to be incredibly in tune with their environment and the changes that are happening at that speed. This ties back to the generational employees who understand that. They grew up hunting on these lands and coming to work with their dads and with their uncles. It's super helpful to have that historical context embedded in a lot of these employees. They're passing that information along to them because we all want to see this place be successful.
When you can go out on Aina and feel and experience and listen to what the land has to say, you as the Kanaka or the caregiver in turn become just as special as the land.
I just love setting up early in the morning and riding out on the range. In order to stay this long, you gotta love what you're doing. Love the land, love the cattle. Take care of the land, it takes care of you.
Most proud of working the land that my dad worked on, my uncles, aunties. When we ride horse, move paddock like that, I like to just climb the highest hill and go on the top and just see the scenery.
There's a standard of excellence that they hold. The champions of that are these generational cowboys and cowgirls that are implementing that and have been doing that for over 100 years. You know, without them, Parker Ranch would not be Parker Ranch.
I see the 1847, or when we would see our Paniolo Cattle Company, it was like, oh, I know where that came from. It's a reflection on our cowboys and all the work that they do and all the pride that they take in raising what they raise. Unless you can be out there working with them or have that sense of raising another life. The continuity of Parker Ranch's legacy is our cowboys.
Things that are foundational to who we are as land stewards, as cattle stewards, as participants here in the community. Care, certification, encompassed all of that, hold that part of the story.
When you cook for somebody or when you feed somebody, that's love. So when you see that label, this is our way to justify to you that we did it and we do it and we will continue to do it.
It really is going back to the community that makes it worth sludging through the mud, putting your head down and grinding through some of the more difficult decisions. People have worked hard because they believed in this mission. We want to make sure that the schools are well taken care of. My daughter was born at that hospital, and they have a great birthing center, in large part because we've continued to keep that hospital viable for so many years.
This is a mea Hawaii, a saying where mahalo ika mea loa'a, be grateful for what you have. And to be able to live this life, to have the space and the opportunity to be on land, and hopefully I can continue to be the voice for the land that raised me. That's how special it is.